Good morning, good day. I'm playing from the time of COVID, but we can't let that limit our wonderful association with people that matter so much. One of my much beloved things in all of life is to play for seniors, so we get to do it online. I would like to start with our theme song, because we have a theme song. The more we are together, the happier we'll be. For your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we are together, the happier we'll be. Not only that, just like me, they want to be close to you. Now, this video will be, once it goes online, it can be there for who knows how long, but it's being recorded during a time when visits are curtailed into care homes and into hospitals and all over the place. And so it's a time of distance. And we actually owe technology a great debt of gratitude for helping us to bridge that distance. But this song was made famous by the Carpenters, Close to You. Thank you. Now, a few pieces in a row with 3 beats in a bar feel of rhythm, and it gives a sense of flow or propulsion or rocking as in lullabies. And here we have it first with the pedaling feel of a bicycle built for 2. Feeling da da dee, da 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 da. Now also that feeling can be like flying through the air with the greatest of ease on a flying trapeze. technical thing. I think I need to pull a curtain. From what I can see, the reflection might be causing trouble. So there's a curtain pulled. Yes, that's better. Now the other one, with a feeling that inspires emotions of love, and this is the famous Lara's theme from Dr. Zhivago, one of the big movies of the 60s and one of the big song hits of the 60s. I was born Prince Rupert, BC, which is a little island off the northwest. We're so far northwest, we're off the coast. And now I live as far as southeast in BC as you can get without being in Alberta or the States. When I was a kid, it used to take 2 days to drive anywhere exciting for holidays, like lakes or beaches or things. So we'd sing in the car, and we would sing "You Are My Sunshine," and we would sing "I've Been Working on the Railroad." And so why don't we sing it now for those who know the words? I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Thumping on the old banjo and singing. So there. Pardon? Yeehaw! There's someone there saying yeehaw. A little behind the scenes, I am actually recording while playing into a senior's home called The Pines here in our little town of Kimberley. I've been doing this for, I can't think how many years. Not only around the area, but if I was going to visit somewhere like Salmon Arm or Victoria, BC or Brooks, Alberta, I would sort of go knocking on a door and say, how would you like to have some music for your seniors? Because I absolutely love doing it. The seniors built our country. Now they deserve all the care they can get. And in the midst of the COVID crisis, they're one of the most put upon, crushed groups. So anything we can do to provide, connection, The more we are together, the happier we'll be. One of those people singing in the car was my dear mum. And when they do these video tutorials, they say, be sure to have an uncluttered background. Now you look at my background in here, it's not very uncluttered. There are 3 paintings up there done by my mum, who lived until age 105 months, almost 6 months. And here she is in her graduation cap and gown, as she got a bachelor degree in history and art at age 66 after my dad died. And there's all kinds of family stuff up there. And there's a selection of the kind of music I love, which is just about everything. There's Bing Crosby and Audrey Hepburn in movie hits. There's songs from the early century. It Ain't Gonna Rain No Mo, No Mo. Bach and teaching music. I think the full meal deal of all kinds of music are a delight to be enjoyed. I'm classically trained, and Brahms is my absolute favorite. And also, everything from ragtime to jazz to video game music you will hear on this program. Next, a song that I played, one of the last 2 pieces I played to my mum in her last day of life was To a Wild Rose, and here it is. Thank you to the wonderful local audience. Now, there's a weird thing about this piece. Every time I play it, I mean every time, some other little note creeps in. Those who know the piece will know that there was a C sharp that didn't belong there. The last time I played it for the previous group this morning, there was another note that didn't belong there. And last week it's just something about that, and I have to put it aside. I play it in beloved tribute to my adored mum. And one of the reasons it's so easy to chit-chat about her end of life and dying is because she took it so absolutely as par for the course. She'd been updating her wills for 30 years, and she wrote her own eulogy and her own obituary, and it was sort of like follow the bouncing ball to plan her funeral when she died. And so, because she was so fearless about it, it was the best example for her kids. So I encourage all of us, whatever age, to face what will happen and must happen as fearlessly as possible, and it's a great gift to those around you. So, thanks, Mom. I have a piano teacher, much beloved, who is at age 90 in a care home in Burnaby, part of Vancouver, BC, and as long as she was able to live in her home, which was up till last year or something, she could play the piano. And one of the pieces she played was My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. So I play this now in honor of my beloved teacher, Elizabeth McGillivray. That song comes from quite a while ago, as in a long, long time ago, and I think the late 1800s, in fact, while the Model T came along in the early 1900s, was the first car priced for the common person, not just the rich. One reason was it didn't have a lot of frills, including no gas gauge. You had to unscrew the top of the gas tank and look inside or stick something in to see how much gas there was. So some clever man rewrote the words to My Bonnie as follows. My Bonnie leaned over the gas tank, the depth of its contents to see. I lighted a match to assist her. Oh, bring back my Bonnie to me. So there's a little bit of car history. I get classic car magazines, so you find these little factoids. Well, Mom, my dear Mom, and my dad, of course, they loved us kids and they sang to us kids. And one of the songs they sang, we then sing to other kids. And it is, Eensy weensy spider went up the water spout. I bet many of you know those words. Eensy weensy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Up with the sun and died of all the rain. Now, I will never, never be able to do something that any one of you listening can do. Any one of you listening can do the actions. But I can't because I'm busy playing the music. So you win over the piano man. Few performances ago with seniors, I happened to mention that not many people will be able to dance the Macarena this year because it is by its nature a group dance. And I was joking around and I started playing it, and lo and behold, a care worker at the Pines started dancing the Macarena. So I dare you to do it again. I challenge you to do it again. Here we go. Aha, I can see the arms. How long I can keep her up. 6 more times. No, I'm kidding. This is it. Next time I want you to dance Gangnam Style. Wouldn't that be fun? By virtue of having had so many friends and contacts in the music biz and going to thrift shops and having people who have retired, passed music on, or people who say, well, this was my mom's collection, will you take this, or do we have to recycle it or thrift shop it? And of course I always take it, so I have thousands of copies, including some originals like this of some of the big musical hits. Doris Day and Jimmy Stewart were two of the most beloved and respected stars in Hollywood. Jimmy Stewart of, I forget, 50 plus years happy marriage to his wife, and very noble, self-effacing guy, not a big star, like acting like a star. Doris Day, whose great later accomplishment was being a friend to the animals. She had enormous focus on care of animals. She didn't want to sing this song. She thought it wouldn't amount to anything. And when they did the recording, she said, well, that's the last time you'll ever hear that song. Later on, she said, boy, was I wrong, because it became one of her biggest hits and the theme song of her TV show. So here we have it. Que sera, sera. Sing along, please, if you know the words. A great and wonderful song. Her real name was Doris Mary Van Kappelhoff. And when she started to be famous, somebody said, you know, that's never going to fit on a LP label. So what can we do? And she happened to be singing a song called Day by Day, so somebody said, why don't we call you Doris Day? And look how well it worked. And a song that she made famous, while it also helped to make her famous, Sentimental Journey. Thank you. We started with 2 songs about hope, or about connectedness, I mean. And I'd like to finish with a song about hope, indirectly about hope. The Good Fairy underneath Cinderella's desperate, defeated arms when the ugly sisters have torn her dress apart, gone off to the ball to leave her alone. She says something like, "Oh, I have no hope." And the Good Fairy says, "You can't have lost all your hope, or I wouldn't be here." In a time now when many, many reasons have been to lose confidence, I guess, if not hope, but confidence, because things are dragging on, and some people are being idiots, and some people are being saintly, and everything in between, and we don't know if there'll be a recurrence of this COVID. The program, of course, will be on for years, and so to some extent you'll know this in history, but it is a time of great uncertainty. However, the inspiringly exciting hope presented by this Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo song, as the Good Fairy turns the pumpkin into a coach and the mice into horses and Cinderella's rags into the white ball gown, I think are a bit of a, what's the word I want, sort of a musical emblem for what we can hope for. And that sequence of the ball gown's creation, Walt Disney said, of all the animation ever done at his studio, that was his favorite bit. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. If you can sing it, please do. Bibbidi Bobbidi. And dear Jenny Wilcock, one of my students who was about 14 when she wrote this piece a few decades ago, wrote a piece called Friends. And it has what's called an ostinato bass that keeps repeating more or less the same. And this most charming, friendly atmosphere. So this is a way to say goodbye to all my friends online, near and far. And this is the first of many programs, as I plan it anyway. So hope to see you again. Here's Friends by Jenny Wilcock. Thank you all. A delightful time, and see you soon.